We started earlier in the show by talking about, kind of just giving ourselves a second opportunity to make, Super Bowl predictions. Now that everybody's, starting from scratch, that field has been whittled down to 14. Everybody's 0-0. I say we do it by process elimination. Hopefully, it didn't take too long. But it feels like there are certain teams that we can say, as wide open as it may feel, especially in the AFC,
it ain't happening.
Feels like there's certain teams because, right. Like, and we've seen wild card teams catch fire, and some of them catch fire in the playoffs. We've seen teams that don't look like they're any good at the end of the season. Yeah, but they end up, getting on a roll come playoff time. All right, so you've eliminated the Patriots. We'll stay in the AFC. Great story. I don't think the Steelers can go on a run. I definitely don't see them
put some
beating
rankings
Kansas
up
City.
there. I'm a visual learner.
Rankings or brackets, either one. I don't see brackets. I don't see the Steelers.
Whatever it is.
I don't see the Steelers beating the Chiefs. So that ends the run. The Steelers ain't going to Kansas City and beating the Chiefs. So Steelers ain't happening. We've eliminated the Patriots. I think the Raiders and the Bengals are probably the two teams that are the most
I'll let you take this one, Doc.
Well, only because it's like, the Raiders have played good football at different points. They're on a roll right now. We know how resilient they are. They're the best story of the postseason, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people share that opinion. But is that story capable of knocking off an explosive Bengals team, and then after that, potentially knocking off, let's just say the Chiefs or the Titans even? It's just like, I think the Raiders are good, but not good enough. And the same goes for the Bengals and the Bills. Like, as dangerous and as explosive as they can be.
You say the Bills? You say Bills too, huh?
I think the AFC, if I'm being real, if I'm not subscribing to the, hey, don't sleep on this team, and nobody wants to play this team, and I could see this team getting on. Like, if we're just kind of like now, if we're just being real about it, I think it's. And Michael, you know what? It took me a long time. I'm gonna say what you said several times on this here program. I be listening. You don't think I listen, but I be listening. At the end of the day, we're running it back. Chiefs, Titans. I think that's what this conference comes down to, especially with Derrick Henry coming back. I think it's Chiefs, Titans. It's between those two teams in the AFC. So I will go back to my preseason prediction, and the AFC Super Bowl representative will once again be Kansas City. That's who I had in the preseason. Now that we're pre-postseason, it's Kansas City again. Kansas City, except this time, Kansas City will go into Tennessee and knock off the Titans.
Before we go to that NFC bracket, and I like the way you're thinking there, I do want to make the case, this last case for Buffalo. Buffalo, top 5 offense, top 5 defense in the league. Josh Allen is playing out of his mind. Josh Allen is just what an incredible quarterback he is. Not in the trinity of Rodgers, Brady, Mahomes. He's not up there, but really good. Definitely in the top 7, top 10. And who led the league?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5. Put him in the top 5.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But as you often say, that 5 fills up very quickly. And when I look at top defenses, I don't go by, with all respect, I like a lot of the analytics on defense and situationally what a team is doing, but I do like to go by points allowed. Simple as that. Who gives up the fewest points? And the team that gave up the fewest points in all of football this year was the Buffalo Bills.
So you laughed at me when I talked about, I feel like, was it this sport? Maybe it was another sport. You laughed at me when I talked about point differential. One day I brought up point differential and you laughed.
I didn't say point differential. I said the fewest points. Just points allowed.
It's like practically the same thing, right?
No.
I mean, it's the same family.
No, because
like
point
brother
differential,
and sister, they're related.
No, point differential is saying, hey, you outscored your opponents by 200 points. I don't care about how many points they out. I'm saying they didn't give up that many points.
But those two things usually go hand in hand. No,
they don't.
Nuance, tangent alert. Yeah, most of the time. Like, if you got a pretty high point differential, you probably didn't give up that many points. That doesn't mean you're number one.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know why I opened this can of worms. I'm sorry.
Last time,
go ahead.
I'm just going to say just a real quick note. Just correct me. I'm not looking at the stats here. But I think the Seattle Seahawks, who have a losing record, have a positive point differential. So point differential can be
it's not the end all be all.
Yeah, if you blow out a couple of opponents, and you lose some close games, you'll have a good point differential. I'm just saying, in terms of defense, they've got the best defense in football.
I got you. Good.
So
you were okay, but continue your overall. Was that it? Were you done on the Bills?
I'm just gonna say, don't eliminate Buffalo. Buffalo as a just kind of shadow team, just outside the AFC Championship game door. I agree with you. I do think it's Kansas City and Tennessee, but if Buffalo gets into that mix, I won't be surprised. Now, the NFC, let's eliminate.
So before we get to the NFC though, net points, just for whatever it's worth, just to kind of put a bow on that. Let's put some data behind that unnecessary debate. Buffalo, fewest points allowed, right? Fewest points allowed in the league at 289. Net point differential, 194. Best in the league. So it's a 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Number 2 in point differential, Dallas. Number 3, New England. But you're right, a 50-10 win over Jacksonville will do that. You know what I mean?
And beating the Jets 54 to something over the Jets.
So numbers can't lie. Like Tampa Bay 158. Then there's a huge drop off. Kansas City 116. And most people's favorite to get to the Super Bowl, Green Bay, only has a 79-point differential. All right, let's get to the NFC. You ready?
What is Seattle? Does Seattle have a positive one?
Seattle is plus 29. But here's what's most fascinating. Just one last note on point differential. Vegas and Pittsburgh. Las Vegas' point differential is minus 65. Pittsburgh's is minus 55. So there's also something to be said for winning close games or winning the games that you have to win in order to get into the tournament. But they're here now. All right.
Here we go.
Eliminating. All right. Philadelphia. Cool story, bro.
Philadelphia.
Love what they're building. They're ahead of schedule. Got 3 first-round picks next year. Great running game. Won't be a pushover for Tampa. Great season. Successful season. The epitome of house money. But thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Ain't doing it.
All right.
You know what, man? Another one. Because I gotta pick one, right? I gotta pick one.
Yeah.
The 5-4.
Yeah, this is tough.
4 and 5.
Yeah.
4 and 5, bro. That's us. 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
That is the brother from another bowl right there. That is because it's like 2 teams. We probably argued about those 2 teams more than any other in the league. Yeah. Definitely in the NFC. And between those 2, if I gotta trust one, I'm gonna trust the Rams. So I'm with you. Cardinals, can't trust them. Shout out to Public Enemy. I'll just let them go. Fine, let them go. And then if they win, I'll come back and tell you I told you so. Okay? But for right now, I'm going to say Cardinals. We can eliminate them. Scratch off the Cardinals.
They're going the other way. They're sliding. All right. Niners, Cowboys.
3-6. It's going to be so.
I got to say.
You like the Niners, huh? You're on this Niners train, ain't you?
I really like the Niners. I like the way they play. I like the way they're playing. I like their playing style. And they got about 4 or 5 guys who I just really love on the roster. Like I love Fred Warner. I love Debo. Ayuk. I mean, I like some of that, and I have a soft spot. Not that he's a great player, but I have a soft spot for Jimmy Garoppolo. I like that they're committed to the run. They're physical. They're a physical team.
I get it.
So,
but even
as a matter of fact,
if the Cowboys,
I think they're gonna win that game.
I don't disagree. If I had to pick right now, we still got a few days, I'd pick the Niners too. I feel like they're that quintessential hot wild card team. But even if the Cowboys do survive San Francisco, I don't think the Cowboys are capable of winning 3 games. I like them on paper. I like their talent. I like their young talent. They'll be around for a while, but I don't think this is their year to go all the way. Much to the chagrin of long-suffering Cowboys fans. I mean, we're talking about teams that we think can go all the way. Like, we're trying to whittle it down to get to a pick.
That's the standard.
Okay. Right. The Rams. I don't think the Rams are going to be one and done. but I don't believe that the Rams can beat. I'm not taking the Rams over the rest of that field. Like I think they'll be a tough out. They'll be a proverbial tough out. They'll beat the Cardinals, but I think that's where it ends for me when it comes to the Rams, which for me leaves again the usual suspects. Michael, it took 18 weeks, but I'm right where you are. It's like Packers, Bucks again, except what?
Here's a problem.
Don't tell me you're coming around on the Rams. You coming around on the Rams?
Well, I'm just going to say
coming
this.
around?
Okay. Well, if the Buccaneers going to beat the Eagles, right? Buccaneers advance.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So 49ers beat the Cowboys. I think that takes the 49ers to Green Bay.
49ers
they're
play
a
the
6
Packers.
seed.
Yes, correct.
Right? And so now you
Yes.
got the Rams beating the
Rams
Cardinals.
will play the Bucks.
Okay, I don't like that's a bad matchup for the
Don't
Bucks.
like that matchup?
I don't like that matchup. So I might be.
I mean, we've seen that movie.
I might be on the. I might say Rams over the Buccaneers.
Okay.
They match up well with them.
We know that. For whatever it's worth.
Years,
we do. We know that. Okay. Interesting. You're right. If it's all about matchups, it's all about the brackets. Yeah. It's all about availability. I've already said.
But I'm sticking with my
2022 NFL champion is already COVID, because COVID has already had a hand in the season, and we'll see how it rears its head moving forward. So at the end of the day, though, you're going with Green Bay. So you got Tennessee, Green Bay as your Super Bowl?
I think it's going to be going way back. What was this, Mike? Was this Super Bowl? Was it Super Bowl II? Green Bay, Kansas City?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? All right, so
that was one. Super Bowl I. Super Bowl II was the Raiders.
Oh, Super Bowl I. Oh, that was the Raiders, right?
Super Bowl I.
So
was Green Bay, Kansas City.
Which one was Max McGee drunk? That was Super Bowl I.
That was Super Bowl I. That was the first one. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. So we got a rematch. We're going way back. Green Bay,
I hate that.
Kansas.
Side note, I hate that.
Green Bay, Kansas City.
I hate that. Please don't do that. Pet peeve. I already told you about sense.
I know it.
I hate when people use sense, and it's 5 years ago. Don't tell me about a rematch of Super Bowl I when everybody's dead. It's not a rematch of Super Bowl I. Okay?
They're not dead.
55 years ago. That's not a rematch.
And now,
a rematch that they played this year. It's not even a rematch of last year, or if they played the Super Bowl last year. That's the rematch rules. Rematch rules. If they played the previous year, or if they played in the regular season of that season. But it is not a rematch of Super Bowl I. It is coincidental at best.
Two quick
grinds
things.
My gears. Grinds my gears. Hate that.
One, I agree with you. Okay, I just want to let you know, for the record, I agree with you. But two, since you told me it's your pet peeve, I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Now you're gonna do it.
Okay, so you made a mistake, and when it happens, when it is Green Bay, Kansas City, I'm gonna be like, hey, Mike, man, I'm so excited. We got a rematch of Super Bowl I.
Okay, and then when Kansas City wins, you're gonna say it's Kansas City's first championship since 2019. Like, oh my God, the long-suffering Chiefs fans since 2019. Okay, so that's your. By the way, for the record, and I'm keeping score because you know I do. That is at least your third Super Bowl pick this season. Which is fine. That's fine. Your preseason pick
Green Bay
was Cleveland.
I'm stuck with Green Bay.
I'm talking about the AFC. In the AFC.
It was Green Bay and
Cleveland. Right. Then it went Tennessee. Then you were driving the Tennessee train.
Cleveland.
Mike Vrabel, your coach of the year. You all on Tennessee.
Well, I said Tennessee.
Now you're on Kansas City.
No. I just want you to get this straight. Because am
I missing a team?
What did Michael Smith say earlier? I know what I said because I was there. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say that.
When I said it.
Okay. You did. We can go, in case you missed it, I told you a while ago, I said in the AFC Championship game, you're going to have Tennessee and Kansas City. And you said, how do you know that? How you know that? How you know that? We don't know that. I said, yes, we do know. But I didn't say Tennessee was going. I said in the conference championship. I didn't know who the champion was going to be. So this is my second.
No. You had Tennessee coming out the AFC. You had Tennessee coming out the AFC.
At one point, I said they're the best team in the AFC.
Okay, fine. You're right. Okay, as the facts change, so does your opinion. And I'm hip to your game because one way or another, you're going to be right. If you name enough teams, eventually you'll be right. I get it. It's just You're throwing a bunch of darts, and one of them
don't
is
sleep
gonna
on
be on
Cincinnati.
target. Right? Don't exactly. Of course, absolutely. Don't sleep. Because why would we
Don't
sleep?
be surprised.
They're only a playoff
Don't
team.
be surprised if. Don't be surprised.
Don't be surprised if. Right. Then the Patriots. Oh, then you're gonna be like, well, look, man,
Hey,
I
listen.
knew that they'd eventually get it together. Okay.
New England Patriots, man. You know, listen, they've been there. They're no stranger to the Super Bowl.
In the NFC, and I'm going to regret this, or as you would say, I'm going to rue the day.
Rue the day.
I'm gonna regret this. First, I'm gonna regret two things. I'm gonna regret doubting somebody, and then I'm gonna regret agreeing with you. So we've had this long-winded, all over the place conversation, only
That's
for
what we
us
do.
to arrive at a place of
If you're
agreement.
new to the show, this is what we do. We just kind of
At a place of
argue.
agreement.
Round and
Because
round.
I guess in the NFC, preseason, you know I had Tampa. Because I said once playoff time comes, I'm not betting against 12. I'm not betting against 12. But I think I'm flipping to the other 12. It's just, Michael, I cannot, it just feels like, first of all, they got the bye. They got the best team.
That's helpful.
I just can't see a world in which Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay, and maybe I can't see it because I don't want to see it. I have fought for years against the criticism that Aaron Rodgers has only won one Super Bowl. It's like there are extremes when it comes to discussing Aaron Rodgers. There's the Chris Sims people who think that Aaron Rodgers plays 11 positions at the same time on offense and defense and coaches the team and has never had a supporting cast and has, made chicken salad out of chicken shit for his entire career. There's that faction.
Yeah.
And is there the other faction that thinks he's an underachiever, that he's a choker, and that the reason he can't be in the GOAT conversation is because he has only one Super Bowl championship. I don't want to imagine a world in which everything lines up for Rodgers and he's back-to-back MVP and they fall short in the playoffs again.
So
It's all there for him. So I'm going to go with Green Bay.
who do they play?
I'm going Green Bay
Green Bay
over
and who?
Tampa in the NFC title game. Green Bay over Tampa. I think Tampa does beat the Rams if they match up, if they see each other.
They beat the
again.
Rams.
So Green Bay over, I'm not going to bet against 12 that much. Green Bay over Tampa, which brings you and I to a prediction of a rematch of Super Bowl I, Green Bay versus Kansas City. Green Bay versus Kansas City in the Super Bowl. The Rodgers, Mahomes showdown
This is what
that
we
we
want.
have been waiting for.
Give the people what they want. Give the people what they want. And it's too early for that. We can't call that yet. We just kind of figured out the playoffs in our heads, but I don't know if it's going to play out that way. So we can't predict the Super Bowl. But let me ask you something else.
All of this is subject to change.
Playing.
After this weekend, when one of our teams loses, then we can reassess. Maybe we'll do it again. We'll do it again.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.